Carragher trying to stay cool. Mella, lovely cushion header. But Gerrard! You beauty! What a head, son!
How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. Well done, Matchroom.
About time.
Well done, Matchroom.
About bloody time.
Because right now we're going to talk about a fight that, in my opinion, is a legit 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
I do not have a fair opinion on who's going to win this fight right now. I've been tossing and turning for nights, days, thinking how this fight plays out. And I cannot make a, 49-51. I cannot decide who's going to win this fight.
Yeah.
And hopefully this discussion will get me a decision on this fight. I'm talking Callum Smith, Rocky Fielding, Ade.
Two unbeaten guys. Again, very similar to the James DeGale, George Groves.
Yep.
Because of the weight, because of it was London versus London.
Yeah.
This is Liverpool versus Liverpool. The winner's going to go on and dominate the world of boxing and all the other things that people have mentioned about it. Look, it's a great matchup, and I'm trying to think of all the fights that we've spoke about on this show this year. I think DeGale Darrell is the only other one that was a 50-50 fight.
Yeah,
the others I could make a winner out. This is legitimately 50-50. And funny thing is, a year is a long time in boxing.
Yes.
This fight happened a year ago. I'm telling you now, I was like 80-20, 75.
Callum Smith, yeah.
All day, what? And then you know what's happened? Rocky Fielding has gone to the gym and done some weights.
Yeah.
I kid you not, he's gone and done weights. I don't think he's got a strength and conditioning trainer, because I remember Rocky Fielding a couple of years ago couldn't make weight. He's supposed to fight Paul Smith.
Yeah.
Couldn't make weight for that fight. Couldn't make weight for his second fight. It's coming at these stupid catch weights where I thought he's definitely going to light heavy. And now he's got back down to his weight, and the punching power is for real. And he can hit.
A year ago, I was not high on Rocky Fielding. I thought Rocky Fielding was a decent fight. I thought it was good, but I was looking at it thinking, well, you know, something's happened in his last 2-3 fights. He won the fights. It's the way he won them.
That's it.
He done things what a fighter should do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it impressed me that I like the Brian Vera fight.
That's the big one.
Brian Vera made a mistake. Rocky Fielding capitalized on it.
Yeah.
John Lewis made a mistake.
Yeah.
And he capitalized on it. He ended the fight. You got a fight in front of you who's confused, not sure whether you end it.
Yeah.
No pausing, no waiting, no let's touch gloves. That grit,
Yeah,
that
killing
spine,
machine,
that killing instinct. I'm trying to say, we're in the fight, pushed him, got him caught in the ropes, and ended the fight. Callum Smith, though, to me, is a smoother operator. When he's fighting with Brassi, he looked good, he looked smart, he looked smooth, but I thought he looked too smart.
Yeah.
He seemed at certain times where he was kind of thinking what shots to get off, like tap, 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 tap. It weren't like boom, 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 boom. And it shows he's a smart fighter, he's a thinking fighter, but it didn't show me the type of fire that Rocky Fielding had that night.
It's funny you say that, because
that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I've said recently about Scott Quigg. Remember, I've always said to you about Scott Quigg, where I think that Scott Quigg looks fantastic and looks slick, but I can see he's thinking. So he's thinking, I'm going to go to the body, to the head. Whereas I've always argued with Carl Frampton that Carl Frampton just looks like it's fluid. Recently, obviously, Scott Quigg's performance over Kiki Martinez showed me, and finally he's got a bit of spite to him. And that's why I feel Callum Smith is right now. I think Callum Smith is a fantastic boxer as an amateur, and I still feel like he's almost got the amateur bit still in him where he's scoring points for his shots. Yeah. He's looking for his shots. Whereas I think Fielding's like crack. Where Callum Smith, probably the better boxer. Yeah. Definitely the better boxer. He's still thinking a bit too much for me. And against Fabresse, although the rounds were always 10-9, 10-9 Smith, that doesn't give you the story of the whole fight. No. The story of the whole fight was every round was quite tight. And that's because he thinks too much for me.
So I tell you the thing with Smith, and this is a credit to him, but also a criticism to him. He's got a great team around him. All his brothers are fighting. I'm trying to say the Gallagher gym and the whole scenario.
Buzzing, isn't it?
It's buzzing. I'm trying to say, I can imagine being in a room with the Smith brothers talking fights. You will get the best input because you've got fighters in different weight classes, all giving their own experience and different angles, different ideas.
Imagine what Paul tells him at that weight.
Yeah, you get
his own weight.
So you can understand what he brings to the table. Also, he's a marketable. His family is marketable. He's marketable. He's very talented. So Sky and Metro have been pushing him.
Yeah. So
that's the upside. But sometimes when someone pushes you and you're kind of not given, but when you kind of got a little bit of a spotlight, that might take a little shine off that grit.
Agreed. And you know what it does? To your opponent, it gives him the grit. He's thinking, wait a minute, I'm not being pushed here. I won prize fighter, I'm the English champion, I didn't come through all the fanfare, what's going on with me? And that gives them that bit of extra edge, like, Okay,
exactly.
we'll see. And I think Rocky Fielding's got that spike.
That's what I think. And as I said, without Callum Smith, this fight is not a major fight.
100%.
Callum Smith is the star, and I will think that to match him, he's the favourite.
Yeah.
And I can see he will be the favourite. But I just got a funny feeling, and this is why I keep dancing on the fight card. I think Callum Smith is the better boxer, but I've got a funny feeling that little bit of neglect that Rocky Fielding has is his actual edge in this fight.
Ooh, I love the way you say that, boy.
Yeah,
that's a very good. I mean, I agree. Look, for about 6 or 7 months now, maybe it's the last 2 or 3 Callum Smith performances against the 2 or 3 Rocky Fielding performances. I kind of feel like I see something in Rocky Fielding where if a going gets tough in a fight with Callum Smith and it comes down to just having to bite on your gum shield and boxing skills go out the window, which does happen sometimes. Look, not everyone can box smoothly. Sometimes you're gonna get into a tear up. Yeah. And I feel like if we get into a tear up in this fight, look, if Callum Smith outboxes him, he could outbox him for 12 rounds. It could be quite easy. If he engages a Rocky Fielding and it's a tear up, I think he'd get knocked out. Yeah. I don't know if this guy's been down as an amateur. I don't know if he's been down as a pro. I'm just going with what I see, and what I see is I think Rocky Fielding has the power to stop Callum Smith. Don't shout at me.
Callum Smith, I think, is a better tactician.
100%.
And I think he knows what he's trying to do within the ring. But at the same time, I think the people who's fought, minus Rebrassi, he knew he was going to win. So Rebrassi was his kind of learning curve for that fight, which again, Rebrassi's European level, clearly, so that makes him a level higher than Rocky Fielding. But then again, on the flip side of that as well, I think Rocky Fielding's fights have been more 50-50 fights. Yeah. So even though he didn't look as polished as Smith, and he's up and coming, he's had a bit of a harder road. Because like I said, Callum Smith was always planning to beat the guys he's supposed to fight.
So in your theory, then you're saying that Callum Smith is James DeGale, Rocky Fielding is George Groves. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And we know who won that fight. Yeah. Yeah, we know who won that fight. Does the loser necessarily lose anything if it's a close fight?
No.
Both will go on. Do you think both will go on?
Yeah. These are my favourite type of fights where you've got 2 undefeated guys, 2 prospects, both going for the same world title or the same direction, so they have to fight. Why drag it out and wait till when you get a world title, when I get a world title, you're all talking about 3, 4, 5 years and you're talking too far ahead of yourself.
You're talking if.
Yeah, if I get a world title. Getting a world title ain't easy. Yes, there's more belts, but it's not an easy job. Also, historically, England has a great history at super middleweight.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah? Carthage left a big opening right now.
Joe Calzaghe before that, Eubank Ben before that, Steve Collins, Richie Woodall. That's our division.
That's what I'm trying to say. Now there's an opening right now. Unfortunately, Paul Smith is coming towards the end of his career. Yeah. Yeah, and let's be fair, even Paul Smith will say that my brother's better than me, or he'll say the things on the line that, you know, he's got the potential I didn't have. Yeah. Martin Murray, even though he has a shot against Arthur Abraham, again, Martin Murray's had what, 4? This will be his 4th title shot. So again, not that he's come to the end, but you know he's already there.
You need to see a new breed.
This is the new edition. Yeah. This is the new edition. So
this is the new breed.
The match was perfect timing.
How far away are either from a world title shot against a Badu Jack or no? Arthur Abraham took sense against a Badu Jack. How far is the winner from Badu Jack?
Okay, if I was a boxing trainer or a boxing manager, I'd say they're both a year away. Yeah, in terms of getting 2 fights away. Yeah, 3, maybe 4 fights. And I'm trying to say of actually meeting some of the quality super middleweights out there. That's what I would want to be. But in terms of actual potential and talent, and like I said, the winner of this fight has a say. Guess what? I can roll with the top 10.
If Beaker comes back down to 168, which I think he will. No. I'd like to see. You're not stopping Beaker. We know that. Beaker could stop you. Yeah. I'd like to see one of those. See, Callum Smith will do better against Beaker than Rocky Fielding would. Yes. Callum Smith will box him. Rocky Fielding will try and trade. Exactly. And probably get stopped. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's an interesting one.
No, the difference is, you see, again, this is where the matchmaker comes in, is that why match a good prospect with ability with someone's going to give you a bad fight? Yeah. Yeah. You could put that fight as a main event. Oh, it's such a good fight. Callum Smith and Rocky Fielding versus Sakio Beaker. But it's a boring fight, it's a terrible fight to watch. You don't build no fans. You want to build these guys so they actually get entertainment and build fans to carry them to the further title shots.
I'm not going to put you on the spot then, but at 168, who does the winner fight after? Who would the winner fight at 168 after? Think of someone at 168 that's a name but doesn't carry a threat.
Stieglitz.
Ooh, good name.
Stieglitz.
Stern?
Former world title.
Stern?
Stern or Stieglitz, again. former world titleists,
Easy to make.
nice names, but guys that are now over the hill. You know what I mean? They'll give you enough rounds, or you won't knock them out, but you will learn something out of it. The same way Smith got something out of the Rebrache fight, they will get something out of this fight.
Alright, easy question then. Who wins?
Such an easy question. Why don't you answer it?
Alright, I'm just going to tell you straight right now. I like Rocky Fielding. You know what it is? I don't, and this is not against Smith, because I think Smith's a fantastic boxer, but there's something about the guy that comes up the hard way and is almost adding attributes that he didn't even know he had. I love the interview he done ringside where he says, I've never even lift weights before. Yeah. There was something very humble about that, like, I've realised I've actually got an attribute that I didn't even know I had. And now I've lifted weights and I've actually seen how it's affected him in his last 2 or 3 performances, and that's the guy that's improved. That's the guy that's sparring with Martin Murray day in, day out. Yeah. A guy that's slick. Not as slick, maybe as slick as Callum Smith as a boxer, Martin Murray. So he's been sparring that kind of, imagine the sparring with Martin Murray at one thing. You can't beat that. I don't care who they've got in the Gallagher camp. You can't beat a slick boxer like Martin Murray. Someone that's going to move and jab and do all that stuff.
A good all-rounder.
Good all-rounder. So he's been sparring Martin Murray. The Oliver Harrison gym does breed good people, and I just feel like Rocky Fielding has a point to prove in this fight. Like you said, Matchroom really want Callum Smith to win. We know that. Come on, everyone knows it. The Smith brothers, it'll be a fantastic story. And sometimes someone just does upset the apple cart, and I feel like Rocky Fielding will stop Callum Smith late. 11 or 12, he stops him. I've been pretty good with my predictions lately. Put your money on that one. Rocky Fielding stops Callum Smith late.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Oh boy.
Callum Smith is going to be leading the fight when the stoppage comes.
I love when you do this, like Mystic Meg. You opened up your Mystic Meg, bro.
Callum Smith will be getting the benefit of that in the rounds and be the smarter fighter. But Rocky Fielding's going to be catching him with hard shots bit by bit and slowly wearing him down. That thinking process, not really turning your shots over fully for the stoppage, I think that will work into Rocky Fielding's favour. And bit by bit, by round 8, you're going to start seeing Callum Smith starting to water, and I think Rocky Smith will stop him in the ropes. Maybe not knock him out.
Referee stoppage.
But referee stoppage. Some sort of stoppage. If it's not a stoppage like that, it'd be a TKO, where you're not knocked out, you ain't lost nothing, but you just couldn't continue.
So it's simple. If it goes to points, Smith. The only way Rocky Fielding wins, you're telling me, is by stoppage. Is that what you're saying?
No. I
don't think Rocky Fielding wins on points.
No, I think Rocky Fielding wins on points, but it's not out of the remit because, like I said before, I think Rocky Smith has been. Rocky Fielding has been given the harder road overall. So that grit and toughness might take him to a points decision. Again, you could be losing on points up to 8 rounds. 8 rounds, 12 rounds. Yeah. You still got another 4 or 5 rounds to go.
Yeah, and you can get hurt big time.
You could drop someone a few times and win points. So I'm not saying he can't win on points, but ultimately, Rocky Fielding wins, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, guys.
I'm not changing that decision.
There's November has a sick amount of fights, but kid you not, my top 3 are simple: Cotto Canelo, Tyson Fury Klitschko, and this is right up there with those 3. With those 2, this is it. Rocky Fielding, Callum Smith, a fight that I thought was probably going to happen next year. Well done to Matchroom. Well done for both of these guys, in fact, because look, you can turn down fights. Both of these guys said, yeah, bring it on. And I like that. Yeah. Sometimes you don't need to go abroad. Britain have got talent. Let's square them off. Yeah. I.e. Amir Khan, Kell Brook. Yeah. I.e. Scott Quigg, Carl Frampton. This is right up there with those kind of fights. Who wins? I can't lie to you. Before the video, me and Ryan didn't have a clue, and we both gone for Rocky Fielding. You saw it. You saw it there. Who do you go for? I know a lot of guys are going to go for Callum Smith, but if you are going to go for Callum Smith, tell me how and why. If you're going to go for Fielding, say the same thing.
We're going to get hated on this.
We're not going to get hated on this.
Seriously, yeah. Seriously.
People get hated on this.
They both got defining fan bases, and the Smith fan base is strong. Yes. And I love the guys. The guys are good, but it's a boxing match.
Guys, Smith fans, tell me how and tell me why Callum Smith's going to win, and we'll try and argue back. Or debate back.
Debate back. We're always fair.
We're always fair. Alright guys, like email, subscribe, tweet. I want loads of comments on this one. I don't just want Callum Smith wins by KO, I want why. Comments, and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching another edition of Boxtalk. Cheers.